Okay, so we got a Yomi League match here between Nai and Trippin Light Fantastic. We'll just say Trippin for the rest of it here. Nai is going to be playing Persephone. I've been playing some practice matches with him before this matchup. I think he was worried about the Midori matchup, so I'm guessing that's probably where Trippin's going to be playing Midori. We also played a really quick Arg matchup. But, so let's talk about Persephone Midori. Now, Persephone's gonna do her thing, try to get him down. Obviously, Midori's got throws that will undercut, so that's one way for Midori to kind of deal with it. Midori can also be a little bit more aggressive on the attack button, which will duff a lot of her throw attempts. But the J should be a good tool in kind of the anti-duff, so to speak, because it will beat Midori's 4, which is his fastest normal attack. And we'll also still have the Ace Ace, which is a 0.4 speed attack, which also knocks down. That will beat Midori's full range of attacks. It is the fastest attack in the matchup. So there's that. Some things Midori has going for him is that, of course, Dragon Form. Persephone tends to be a very dodgy character to try to get in, a way to get in some of her throws, and it's another way for her to be able to kind of add in that mix-up. But Dragon Form moves are undodgeable. So either with Midori being in Dragon Form or Midori having a glimpse of the dragon, the ability on the 10, is going to be very important for that. We'll be able to let Midori get out of situations where a dodge is played. He plays his, say, J, uses glimpse, switches it, and now that dodge is no good. This will probably come up the most when Midori's knocked down, since Persephone is going to look to knock down again to try to get extra recursion from the dominance. But some tendencies I saw with Nai when we were playing earlier in the matchup, Nai was kind of afraid to dodge during that time frame. So because of that, and because it was specifically said because it was glimpse, so Joker Wake Up is going to be very strong for Midori here, for Trippin to use to help deal with the mix-up, plus then put 2 big aces in his hand. Oh, I think they're just kind of getting ready here. Seems that most people like spectator off, spectator hands off. I prefer it from the perspective of a spectator. Okay, they're going to have to recreate the room, so. Anyway, I like it from a point of spectator because it allows me to kind of throw in, without having to see somebody's hand. I can kind of make an idea what the range is going to be like. It's good for my development. However, for somebody who maybe doesn't know the game very well, you kind of miss out on some stuff doing that as well. So, but the community is really good. There's not usually anything like, screen peeking and all that kind of stuff. Some people who are streaming the matches too, they don't want them seeing the cards and then possibly getting to their opponent. I don't really care either way, to be honest, as a player, but as a spectator, I actually like them off, so I usually will turn them off for myself too. So anyway, back to the match, or back to the matchup. So it's really going to come down to how Trippin plays the matchup. I think if he plays aggressively, hits that attack button a lot, and basically continues to hit that attack button until Nai decides to do something about it, I think he has a really good chance to win the matchup. However, if he doesn't do that, I think Nai is gonna walk away with it. Especially if you can get that vortex going, that's gonna be really important. Just finishing it up, and I think we're gonna be ready to go. So once we get started, we'll get right into it. Let's see, we're missing juicer. Oh, okay, he is. Okay, I don't even have to type that. But I know Mr. Juicer was also going to commentate on this. It was actually kind of be a cool little thing. Okay, so we did go with Arg. Okay, which is good because we did practice this one game, but again, Nay's range is very throw heavy. So if Trippin plays a more aggressive Arg and goes with just attack, I think he'll do very well here. And yeah, it looks like he is going to go for that style with the 2. So I would like to see Trippin continue the aggression. The normals are really good because it'll at least be able to repopulate his hand. And the only worry I have on that one is he played the 2 but had no follow-up to it. So either he's planning on playing them singleton just to poke, or he has no face cards because he didn't follow up with anything. And I'm inclined to believe that he's doesn't have the face cards because he really should be pumping these up, really punishing the 75 hit points. I would like to see Nai start blocking here, or start dodging as well. Okay, there's a jack. So I'm assuming that jack was not there. That was something he either drew off the previous 2 or not. So I'd like to see Nai here put a little block or dodge in the range and try to knock down that way. Off the dodge, I should say. His dodges here are going to work a little bit better for him, only because he doesn't have to worry about the Glimpse of the Dragon like he did with Midori. So I'd like to see a little bit more dodge in Nai's range. Now for Tripping, it's going to be hard for him to throw. Arg's throws are disadvantaged in this matchup. It is 0.8 speed as opposed to 0.6 speed. So if he decides to... Okay, so blocks from both. If he decides he wants to throw and he throws with like his 7th throw instead of using Protective Ward, which I'll get to that in a second, then he could end up getting out-thrown. But the 7 does beat the king for Persephone, so that is something to know. Going back to Protective Ward, I don't see Protective Ward playing a huge role in this. I haven't seen too many straights, and there's that dodge I was looking for from Nai on this. So this is going to be a good opportunity for him to knock down, and there's the knockdown off the jack. The jack's going to have a little bit less prevalence here because the jack gets beat out by the Arg's jack, queen, and king here, so it's not going to be like playing as Midori. It looks like he's going to power up for that ace shenanigans. Mix-up is a single ace, double ace, throw against the perceived block against the aces, dodge into ace. So there's a lot here to kind of continue that mix-up. So as far as what he can get back, though, he really can only get back a 4-7 and a jack, which isn't that great. So if he doesn't get a knockdown here, it's not super imperative. Arg here is kind of in a rough spot. I would assume if kind of a face card wake up would be his best opportunity. Joker wake up is not bad either, but it doesn't have the same weight as it did in the Midori matchup we were talking earlier because of the fact that Nai has more of a dodge range. So, or Persephone can have more of a dodge range in this matchup, and we're going to go for the Mistress Command, which is definitely the right call. Get a look at that hand and try to exploit it. Anytime you can see the opponent's hand is a huge deal. You know what to play around. You know what you can, what your range can beat their range. It's very important. So, in the case of Mistress Command here, can do all sorts of damage to their hand. Oh, we're going for the lock here. So this is where things get really dicey. Mistress Command, Barrier Soul, can basically eliminate options in Argag's hand. So, now this is a particular time I'd actually like to see the cards because they get a chance to see it, and there goes a Bubble Shield. I'd have to think Bubble Shield will not come into play too often in this matchup. Blowfish Spikes is going to be a bigger player because Blowfish Spikes is the faster attack between the two. It does beat out On Your Knees, Persephone's Ace. So it is pretty important in this matchup. My guess is either that was his lone ace. My guess would be more likely that we had two aces and he got rid of one of them. I'm pretty sure Persephone is not scared of Bubble Shield in this matchup. So we'll get kind of a full value on the dominance here. Oh, sorry. No, you missed a... Sorry. My apologies. So I wanted to bet Sharon. Forgot the previous round. There was no... the one thing about Mistress Command is it does stop the vortex, so you have to kind of start it all over. But for good reason. It's a very strong card. We need to talk about what was given. There's King of Hearts, 4 diamonds. I would assume the King of Hearts is going to go away. What was the other? King of Hearts, 6 clubs, 4 of diamonds. So block an attack and a dodge and attack, and the King's is not going to stick around. So I would, if I were naive, maybe continue with the dodging. He hasn't shown a throw yet. Okay. That's pretty much exactly what I would expect, in the sense of now you should continue with the dodging until Trippin's showing a throw. I'm assuming, based on what he saw in the hand already, that could have been either had only a couple throws, or maybe that could have been his only one, which, depending on his hand, it might have been better to take away the throw. But anyway. So we got the King and the 4 left. There goes, giving them the 4. Okay. So now we're on the opposite here. Yeah, and then goes, there's going to be the King's gone. So now we're in kind of the opposite here. We got the knockdown. Oh. I'm also going to assume that Crash and Flow was not in his hand after Mistress Command, so it's a good pull. Oh, maybe he did know. 2 kings, 8 and 9. I'm assuming one of those kings are going to discard right now. No. He says, I'm not afraid of the king, and just going to get rid of the throws. Alright. Beats the 50-50. Dumps the 9, but gives him the 8. I'm a little confused by that. That's going to get passed. A little confused on that. Maybe there's something there I don't know. I don't perceive to be a huge Persephone player, so. Very good throw by Trippin. I think it's a button he needs to press now against a his perceived attack range. I would expect to see some sort of attack here for another mix-up. I don't know about that. We saw one ace. It was really only saw one ace get picked up. I think he was safe from On Your Knees, so. But a good play by Nai to get him back down and to get rid of a bubble shield, so that's good for his part. Now comes the mix up again. I still would like to see another dodge here. Okay, that's even better. With one bubble shield down, you probably knew that he didn't really have any threat of spikes, so getting in the 16 damage and the knockdowns, really good. So now he's going to be picking up through here, getting some options. Looks like two dodges, the 7, and the king. So loading up on dodges and throws here. And very dominant throws. Alright, looks like the 3 was actually for a power up for the ace, which is always nice. And grabs that one from deck. Use the 7s, okay. And grab the other one from deck. Interesting. I know you usually want to leave one in a yard, one ace in the yard to pick up with domination. Let's go dominance. Sorry, from dominance. So leaving both in there, it's probably fine too. Now all 4 aces are in play, so that's probably good. Again, I think I'm okay with the dodge or the on your knees play again. Okay. Got some chip. Unfortunately, was not able to do on your knees and get the knockdown, so so grabbing both the I guess that's why I didn't really like the draw both from deck. Is the 4th ace is known now instead of hidden. You could have left one in the yard and nice throw, grabs another bubble shield. You could have left one in the yard and the 4th ace is still unknown because you hadn't drawn it from deck. So it gave Trippin a little bit more information by pulling that 4th ace, and then you end up having 4 aces in the yard after that on your knees. So now you can kind of follow how many aces are in hand. But then again, sometimes people like doing that for to actually show the perceived threat. Oof. Ooh. Really nice barrier soul for Persephone there. Those jacks and queens are going to come in very, very handy for Arg, and those are going to definitely hit the yard. Unless he can power up for actually doesn't even have any aces left. He's got 1 ace in the yard, 1 in the on your knees, so he could power up after this turn to put those back in deck. Nice dodge. So now you're adjusting very well here towards the mid to late game. Trippin does have to kind of continue keeping on pressure. But now he's definitely showing some control here with the 2nd knockdown. Picked up 1 ace, couple dodges, the superior throw, so it's got a nice stacked hand for the mix-up again. I'm assuming all those are going away. Yep, and there you go. Nice bubble shield. The hidden ace does get an attack there against the perceived death. Oh, sorry, my bad. That was a knockdown. That was a mix-up. So the 8 bubble shield does not hit. One thing because nice joker to prevent the kill. The thing going against Arg is you're most likely going to throw evens if you are going to throw normals to get around bubble shield, because bubble shield is considered an odd block. So it does lose to all evens. So it's good play by me, and unfortunately he missed the extra bubble shield, which puts 3 in yard. So he could have still 1 in hand, but really I think now he's got to not be scared of it. I think he has to either continue to dodge or play. Does he have enough on your knees? Continue to dodge, or he can go for a kill off another 2 mix up into on your knees. He goes for the dodge. Now this won't kill, but that's probably going to spell game. Mistress Command here at this late of the game is pretty much going to spell his demise. He can basically now just play a normal and on your knees against any card he chooses for Arg, which is going to be one that's going to get beat by the 2. And that will be the end of game 1. So good game from Nai. Nice adjustment to the aggression shown by Trippin in the early game. Brought those dodges back in the range. Yeah, he's going for a little maximum damage here. 6 into 16. I would assume he knows that the Joker's not there, but all right. So let's see what Tripping does here. See if he switches. I would think Arg is still favored in the matchup. I just think he has to just win his combats, get as much damage as he can, and he should be doing fine. The knockdowns are a little bit of a problem for Hex, so there is that to remember. BBB! Alright. Now, this is going to get interesting. First of all, BBB definitely has seen a lot of love in the league lately. I appreciate your gesture. Anyways, BBB seeing a lot of success in the Yomini League this season so far. Most successful character for a percentage of games played. I'm going to go right to range from the start. So this is going to... BBB is usually a choice against grapplers. Is very favored against grapplers. Persephone liking the throws and knockdowns is going to be very happy. BBB is going to have a good time against her. Now in range has no throw opportunities, so the only opportunities for the knockdowns Persephone has is, who's even got the king already, is going to be on your knees, which can beat most of, if not all options BBB has, I believe, 0.4, yeah, because you can't use Piston Hurricane at range, so, which is his AA, and it looks like that's what Nai's at least going to threaten. Long range, really good, obviously, for BBB. That's where he's going to do his most work. Yes, something that Trippin was just talking about was valuation. The Mystic Juicer put out there. Very, very good. Good. And definitely, if you can get valuation going for your hand, your game's going to go way up. So, but anyway, back to BBB. While in range, his normal's a 1.0 speed. Nice, very nice. Another extension grab. His normal's a 1.0 speed. All of his face cards come back to his hand. It's gonna be not all. The first face card he plays in the round will come back to his hand, which is basically the ones he's played. He can't get damaged in range. He can only be taken out of range, which he's taken out of range 2 ways. Either in this case, Persephone gets a hit through, or they both block, both BBB blocks and Persephone blocks. Those are going to be the 2 ways he gets out of range. So there's a lot of good mix-ups for BBB here. Okay, it's going to get 2 chip damage. That does not get rid of range, so it's a little chip damage there. We haven't seen the Q yet from BBB. Q is a very important button for BBB in range, and I think Nai knows this because he hasn't seen it yet. So there's been a very hefty block range from him. For good reason. He wants to have a decent hand coming out of range. And of course, so does BBB. But until BBB shows that Q, if I was naive, I would keep showing those blocks. And he's already gone through 3 dodges, which are very scarce for BBB. He's only got 8 total in the deck, and he's already almost halfway through, and not nearly halfway through the deck yet. So, okay. So there are 2 good things there that happened. First of all, he showed the Q finally, which would have stopped the block, but Persephone gets out of range, and he gets the knockdown. I think he had those aces in hand, and he was just kind of waiting for the opportunity to for BBB to get rid of all of his dodges before showing it, because it is a little bit expensive to use both those aces. But definitely a necessity if you need to get out. You got to get out of range. You can't do anything when you're in it, so you got to use whatever you have available to do so. And he got 3-3, so he's going to get it back in. And BBB's threatened Piston Hurricane off the start here. So this is going to be another interesting combat. Look for BBB here to either throw Piston Hurricane or probably a throw. This is going to be his mix-up against the perceived range of an on your knees versus a dodge. Okay, he goes ahead and does the on your knees, does the obvious play. BB tries to go for a little shenanigans. The king will put you back out in range, so if he would have hit that, that would have been really good for him. So now he's going to get up out of this vortex, which is still going to be, he's still threatening Piston Hurricane here, so it's still going to be a tough mix-up for Naive, but showing that he's willing to go ahead and throw out the on your knees, so I think it's actually going to be a little bit more difficult for Trippin here to make the decision. Is he going to throw it out there now, or is he going to dodge? So my expectation, I think Naive's going to go ahead and throw it out here again. Okay, he didn't. And Trippin deciding that he wasn't going to do it again, so he goes ahead and throws him with another king, which is unfortunate for him because that's going to be 2 kings down. He doesn't get that one back. He wasn't in range yet, so that goes back in the yard. But this time we do know he has the Q, which has the huge 13 chip damage. So it beats blocks. Technically it doesn't beat blocks, but it does do the same damage whether it gets blocked or not. He goes for the dodge, okay. Trippin knows that the on your knees is still available for Naive, so okay, he's pretty much loaded his hand with aces. So he's got a lot of fuel for a while. We also just saw the 4th dodge, so he probably could be out of dodges here. I'd like to see a dodge here from Naive. Okay. Two more chip damage. I would. He's not throwing the Q, which is kind of surprising to me. I'm not certain what he's waiting for here. I'm not sure what the 6 does over the Q. If he was going to attack, it seemed like it just go ahead and go for the Q. What's the speed here? That might be part of it. The speed of Q is 2.2. Which beats a decent amount of the range. Alright, Persephone finally found a Q. Forgot about that. That's another important button, but since that does, it does do a .02. It's still not a good clash against Piston Hurricane, but it's still something. Okay. Overdrive into do as you're told. I'm expecting, yeah, I was expecting a 10 damage being taken. I don't think the dodge is on the table here, so Probably. Oh, it was on the table. Okay. But that dodge was a good from Persephone. Was another duel as you told, and he's going to take another 10. So he's dealt 20 damage off of counters, off of soft counters. So that's really good. I actually gave him the life lead too. Again, I don't expect to dodge, but Persephone, or now you're doing a good job with the dodge. Yeah, you went right into the king this time. But he's running out of kings. And it's king number 3 to your yard. I think that was still a decent way to go. Show the dodges until he was willing to king him again to put him in range. Another king. He did find the 4th king. Unfortunately, he does get hit with on your knees. So we're back out of range again. And into the knockdown, which is going to be super important. What's he going to pick up here? If he has a dodge, I would pick up. If he didn't have a dodge, I would pick up the dodge. But I'm guessing he has some in hand still. Now he does have. I'm assuming he has the other 2 aces. I know the 3rd one was there, but I can't remember if he had the 4th one or not. So he may go ahead and throw out another 16 here. No, he does go for dodge. Trippin did fear the on your knees again and try for the piston hurricane and ends up meeting the dodge. So I would face. Oh, even if you didn't have a joker, I would still face down there. That also might have been a particular opportunity to Mistress Command. But it also could have been that he felt he was out of gas. So getting the 4 cards, recursing 4 cards was better. And he grabs a counter for to blow up another overdrive. We're gonna add the puppy into the. This is Francis, everyone, by the way. Call my mascot, my lucky pug, whatever you want to call him. Hey, look. What's that? All right, back to the match. Hey, buddy. All right. So the usual loading up an aces shenanigans for Persephone. I'd also like to see Trippin throw out a normal throw here. Uh-oh. May have a little problem here. Oh, no. Okay. His timer ran out, so. So what do we get with the very slow? We got the 4, the 10, and the 8. One range, one of the dodges, one of the really important dodges, and the 8 throw. I'd like to see his own throw here. Okay, I would have been wrong. But now he was going to kind of go for another dodge into a knockdown. Did not expect the Q to force end the vortex. I thought he was going to try to keep him in it. All right, so we're back into neutral. This is kind of scary territory here. Kind of for both players. If he gets him back out in range, he's probably in a good state. Nice throw. Okay. I haven't really seen the normal throws yet, which I did not notice until now because I'm not as familiar with BBB other than a little bit of his playstyle. Oh, right in the child spin. Going to try to put in the damage. 22. Big damage from BBB to take a significant lead here now. Lethal is definitely in play. Ooh, pulls out the Joker. And then I believe that's the last overdrive. Nope, that's only the 3rd overdrive. Okay. But what I was getting at is the throws. I didn't realize the throws favored BBB, so definitely expect to see more of that through the rest of the matches here. All right, nice block of on your knees. I made him discard all of them. Yep, dodge, which makes sense. The dodge, the overdrive, and the joker. That was a pretty salty. That was a pretty saucy Bury Your Soul there. Going to dunk long arm for some piston hurricane action. Probably more for beta thrust. I'll put him down to 1. But he only has 1 ace showing, so it could be a piston. Especially with 11 cards. He might have tried to been forcing Nai into a dodge. And ends up scooping him with the undercut. So I assume he's going to play something that does at least 5 damage here. He's got to have at least something in there in that 10-card hand. Yep. Alright, game 2 goes to Trippin. BBB continuing his success. See what Nai does, see if he sticks with the Persephone. I'd really like to see him kind of get out of it. I know Nai's been working on his Persephone, and but I don't think it's... Oh, okay, it's going to stay with it. I don't know the matchup very well, but it seems given the pseudo 4th or 5th grappler status, depending on how you feel about Zane, that Persephone has, I have to feel that BBB is advantaged in this matchup. So see if Nai goes with the early block range like he was going before. And also be interesting how Trippin handles this first one. I expect a block. Okay. You try to get a little saucy there with a Mistress Command right off the bat. Hadn't seen that from Nai in any of the games I played with him today, so good to see him just kind of roll that one out there. There's a couple cards definitely would have beat it, but not many that Trippin would have thrown this early, so it was a good shot. We have Bury Your Soul for a 6, a 3, and an ace. 6, 3. So 2 ranged attacks and 1 of the aces. They'll end up ditching the ace and making him go fetch it, but making him the 3 and a 6. Going for rapid attacks this time. Have not seen that one. Gives him the 6. Yep. It's a very slow 6 right now on the range, so it's a good card to give. Alright, we're going to get back Mistress Command. 4-card hand. Yep, gonna dump the other 2, so it doesn't feel comfortable giving him the 3. Could mean that his hand is not very good right now. Speeds are very slow. Also says to me that probably does not have On Your Knees available. Alright. Cockshot undercutting the Mistress Command. Pretty much saw that one coming. Alright. See the hesitation there. He might have had a gyro spin. Or what was it called? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Good block. So it's a very interesting game here. Staying in a neutral position. Not a lot of attempts to get to range here. Definitely a little bit of a different style. Could be his hand. Alright, another poke here. Long arm, kind of a dangerous call, but basically called he didn't have the... Oh, couldn't get interrupted because of the overdrive. Yep. And this time he does decide to pull out the gyro spin. Very big damage here from BBB. Dealing half life total already to Persephone without any range so far. Oh. A decent Barrier Soul grabs a Q, which is important in the range, and also a huge damage dealer. I'm guessing from the previous 3 he dumped. He's probably looking to dump this entire set of 3 cards. Nice throw. Alright, really changing up the range nicely here is Trippin on this game. He has a follow-up. I think he might be debating whether or not to follow up or not. He may have another Q in hand, but wasn't willing to kind of dump all the cards necessary. And I'm assuming these are going to all hit. Yep. Unfortunate. Going for the gold burst to try to get finalize the damage here. End the game on Piston Hurricane. But now he's got to kind of get something going for him. He's got 9 unis in hand. Another good Barrier Soul. He's going to grab a dodge and grab an important king. May let him have the 4 before he dumps the rest of those. 4 is a little too slow to be problematic. Block. Okay. Trippin wanted to build it. Both players wanted to build a hand. They're both pretty small hands right now. Persephone having a hell of a time trying to get anything going. Probably going to give him the 4. Yep. Gives him the 4. Not scared of that one. Trippin might go ahead and run it right out here. And hit a throw or a block. Ah, he found himself a king. We're going in the range. Plus dealing 8 damage, which is not insignificant at this life total now. So we're going to look for both of these to hit the ground. Alright. Goes for the on your knees right away. Definitely a way to go. BB has not seen a lot of dodges. We've seen a couple hit the, or at least not shown a lot of dodges. I thought we saw more from Barrier Soul. Guess not. But goes ahead and goes right for the aces. I don't know if he was hoping that he forgot about him or just felt that he just wasn't going to dodge that turn. Could have been just a pure desperation for that play, knowing that how important it was for him to get out of range here. Picked up an ace, maybe trying for a Mistress Command play. Given his hand size, he's probably going to look for a knockdown again here. Which he does, but does get outsped again from BBB. Those 7's really doing work in this this match. How many 7's is that? That's the second one. But so far, over the course of the last couple games, it's really scooped up some damage there by undercutting Persephone throws. I think given the way this match comes up, if Nutty has anything else in his repertoire as far as characters, I definitely want to see him switch out of it. Good throw. I think he was more likely to kind of catch a block there, but decided to go right for it. Caught an important dodge. Yeah. Now he has not won many combats this particular I'm dead. Game. At 9 health, it's really going to have to be he's dead. This is going to have to be a very good Vortex. He really has to get him down. Go ahead, cross up. Yeah. There's enough blocks in range, but yep. It's going to gain the Persephone damage and get 4 cards. So now he's got a chance to get things rolling here. It's going to have to be right on these mix-ups, though, to make it happen. Pretty much BBB gets all of them one more time, and that's going to be game over. More ace shenanigans. So he's got 2 in hand. So the mix-up's there. How many aces in yard? 2 aces in yard for BBB. He may have the silent too, but highly unlikely. So on your knees is probably good here. Yep. Trying to go for the kill of the beta thrust and hits it on your knees. So Tripping's hand's probably not very good quality in this position. He's rolling it out. He may have just been rolling it out for just to kind of catch him for the win, but now you can just not fooling around. Just go ahead and throw out that Mistress command, throw out those on your knees and say, "Can you deal with it?" He's probably going to continue to mix it up. All right, pulls out a 7 throw, a 3, a 10. Try to dictate some of his hand and another ace. And there's going to be the power up for the ace. I'd like to see a mix-up here, a 2 mix-up again. An even mix-up, since he pulled the 3. I'm expecting to see, yep, there's the Barrier Soul. A 2, an 8, and a 10, so those might all hit yard. The only one he may give is 8, but it being an important thing, probably not. Alright, so the mix-up here is going to be long arm being uninterruptible versus a throw. And if he connects on this throw, it's game over, so it's really putting the pressure on Nai with that overdrive. And that must have been what he drew this turn. So I think Nai's going to have to hit him with a 7 throw and hope that that's an extensor grab. No, he actually did hit him with the long arm. Okay. No, there might be an interaction there that I'm not aware of. Is it by normal attacks? Oh, except by knockdowns. Yep, okay. Yep. That's actually very, that's an important distinction I did not know about. Yeah. And this is probably one of the reasons BBB is doing fairly well in the league is there's a lot of interactions with BBB that you have to kind of know, and not everybody's known them. Okay, so he did dump all those. A 5, a Q, and the 8. Yeah, those are all going to go away. So the Q and a 5 right away, and we won't be seeing pretty much the rest of those either, I would suspect. 2, yep, it's going to go away. 10 might stick around, but that's about it. Alright, he's finally gotten up from the vortex. He went ahead and kept on going with the on your knees to. I think he's going to dump the rest of these. Yep. Alright, so on your knees is lethal against BBB. Pretty much a lot of stuff is lethal for Persephone. Well, not as much. I think it's some sort of BBB combo in order to finish him off. Beta thrust would do it. Yeah, beta thrust. He's threatening Piston Hurricane though. Question is, does he roll out there or does he throw the throw mix up? And now he's gonna have to make the right decision. That would definitely be the right decision. The mix up was Hurricane / throw. Unfortunately, he's gonna have the same exact mix up next turn, but he could have caught the Piston Hurricane there. Plus, the blue burst probably wasn't going to do much good. All right, successfully dodges the Piston Hurricane. That should be right into on your knees. However, we still have one Joker unaccounted for. I think now he's got to roll it out there. Especially if he's got a way to get the on your knees back. Yep, and he does. And he does not have the Joker. Good game. Now you're taking a 2-1 lead. That was a nice vortex. Basically, now he did exactly what he had to do to win. Made a very long vortex. Was very successful on hitting. Basically just said, here's on your knees, deal with it. Yeah, always like seeing those card packs when you lose a match. I also like seeing the card packs when I win a match, so I just like seeing card packs. They're nice. Board tripping. Yeah, I feel you there with tripping. I've had my own ups and downs lately. Got booted out of Summer Smash just last night. Losing by after I reviewed the footage. Lost a game against the Gray playing Troc. Got to Gray down to 5 life. I had 60 plus. I said in my write-up it was only 40. It was actually 66, I think. And never got another hitting and lost it. And it was a very, very important game 5. So Trippin being a good sport. I don't think it's salt. I think he's actually. I think he enjoys the game, and that's good to see. It's a really great game. It's definitely a fun game. If it wasn't such a great game, I wouldn't be here doing this. So definitely get out there and if you haven't played it yet, learn the game, have some fun with it. Wow. Wow. Showing that he is done with Midori, which is funny because that's the matchup that GG and I practiced before this matchup. So, okay, new plan win. We knocked 10. That's a hard plan against Persephone, but that is the plan. All right. So game 4, Trippin's gonna have to win 2 in a row. Definitely doable with BBB. I mean, he got him down to 9, so I just couldn't close it out. So hopefully he does not too rattled from that. He just has to kind of play his game. Good block to start. Persephone going with the anti-range. Trying to stay underneath that 2.8 speed. And no blocks. So we'll see. Depends on what Nai's hand is. I'm assuming if he's throwing out the Q, he's playing that anti-range to start. Although, done a lot of damage outside of range the last game, so. Alright, knocks off a dodge. Trippin trying to build a hand and done successfully so. He's up to 10 cards already. Persephone looking to kind of start that vortex up. Alright, wow. Catches 2 Qs on blocks. So he's gonna have quite the hand. Yeah, it's really scary to try to throw early against BBB. You don't want to get you don't want to get thrown in those situations where you're put in range. It depends on who's the fear, who has the fear. You know, the opponent against BBB has the fear, and they're just not gonna throw because you're just gonna get poked and put right in the range. All right, looks like Nai's gonna deal first blood here, getting a dodge against the cog shot. Probably looking just a normal knockdown here. Yep. Using the lash to deal max damage off his knockdown. Sans ace ace. Going to get back an important Q. So yeah, he's going to continue on that anti-range. I would be surprised if he continues the vortex here. He doesn't really have much to retrieve at this point, other than maybe the J. How to prevent knockdown? Surviving the vortex, yeah. Getting the throw off. There's another knockdown. So he did get the. He is moving on with the vortex. All right. So I don't expect to see anything else here. Yeah, unless he's got some additional damage to tack on. I don't expect it. I don't think he'll just throw it on just to kind of add a bunch of damage. Alright, so he did continue on. He had a lot more writing on that than I thought. He gets the second Q in his hand, the jack and the 4, so obviously a bad statement by me, but oh. Trippin, having a hard time here. Last game he did very well in the opening. This game he's already down to 30 hit points. Persephone hitting those Qs. Alright, so he's threatening. Even with the 1H pulled, that is threatening on your knees, so. Alright, in the bag yourself. Woof. At 6, probably will end up back in BB's hand, but that rest is going bye-bye. Base card is very... Ace, please. Base cards are really hard to give, and he's certainly not going to get that ace for free. Although the jack is not nearly as threatening as some other face cards, but the Q and the queen being the Q and the queen. The Q and the king being the two big ones for BBB. All right, finally catches a break here, hitting him with a dodge. He may go into gyro spin here just to kind of get some damage in. Hasn't quite pulled the trigger on it yet. Maybe his only no. Okay. Nice getting that ace. Uh-oh. He is gonna probably give him that 6 though. Maybe he dumped all. No, he dumped all of it. Okay. Very not. It's just no range cards for him. You might have figured that the 6 was going to allow him to power up for an ace anyway. So. Alright, using up a dodge, but it's probably the time for it. It's been attacked quite a bit. That is probably a joker there. I have not seen Naive play a lot of face downs. Okay, it wasn't. Okay. Still. Now, unfortunately for BB, that does not put him into range. But it does kind of give up some of his hand. He really didn't look to have a decent follow-up. He may have just had the fear and just decided not to, thinking it was a joker, but at least wanted to try. Ooh, there's that on your knees. And it gets blocked, so more build-up for BBB. And Persephone kind of getting dangerous with a lowish hand for her. Still has... No, I think it looks like both cues have been played. That's picked up earlier. So has that jack. So that may be coming into play. Try to prevent a range attempt here. BB's probably looking to throw out a range attempt, and now he's probably going to try to stuff it with the jack. Trippin desperate to kind of get it into range territory. And goes with the dodge. Fortunately, the dodge really is going to help him get in the range, but maybe he'll just continue to try to poke some damage here and there. Piston Hurricane, alright. So gets in the 21 damage and takes life lead. That dodge made a whole hell of a lot more sense this time. Especially after doing that. Does he take the 10 damage here? No. Decides from 47 life not to do it. So it kept life lead, but... Ooh, dodges the burst. Not good. Trippin trying to say I have both jokers. And he does. He will get knocked down for his troubles, but no more bursting for him. Yeah, probably not. Maybe his hand was pretty bad and just needed the draw, and he's probably just saying, hey, that draw was needed, but yeah, saving the damage maybe had not been worthwhile there. Getting another opportunity to kind of use it as a way to get up. Or maybe he was talking about the gold burst in and of itself. But a timely dodge turned out to grab 2 jokers, so really put Nai in a driver's seat position here, especially with getting the knockdown. Ooh, blocks the Mistress command. That was a very important one. And that quickly, Nai is kind of in a rough spot. It's a very small hand. I figured there's some juices. He was willing to go ahead and put out the Mistress command there to break the vortex willingly. But may not. Stuffs the king attempt. Let's see what Nai's got left in the tank. Not much. Pretty small hand, looking just to do the poke. Basically, just a pure stuff attempt. Pulled up 2 pretty good options. It's going to get rid of an overdrive and a 2. He let a 6 hit yard earlier. He may just let them all go. He may give him the 6 just to kind of slow down time a little bit. He doesn't want to get into a position where, and that's good stuff too. Power Lash stuffs was it an 8? Stuffs an 8. Probably doesn't want to let time go fast since he doesn't have the life lead anymore. Or he does now, but he didn't prior to that. So. Trippin's going to put those cards back in. Oh no, those cards are still hanging out. He pulled that ace from his discard. I'm assuming then that means his fourth ace is in hand. So Piston Hurricane online does give him the 6. Okay, so it does kind of slow down time a little bit there. All right. The mix-up is good. Yep. And there's the 16 damage off the on your knees. Vortex definitely established now. Ace is probably going to get picked up here. Another Bury Your Soul. The 2. The 3 for the mix-up. He might not pull up a 10. He might have another one in hand already. Oh, he's going for the Q. He's going for the anti-range. Okay. And also the Piston Hurricane Clash. Neither of which is lethal, so there's going to be at least one more combat. So maybe he would have... it might have still been worth it to pick up... oh, he's definitely got Piston now. He might have wanted to go ahead and do another Bury Your Soul. Unless he's already got one in hand, which is something he may be signaling. Nope, he didn't. Okay. Gets the cross up. This will probably be game. And in fact, it should be game. He's got that on your knees. Yep. Naive wins game 4, takes the match. Good play from Naive. Yeah, that's really hard. BBB is a tough one. Yeah. I can understand him being stressed. BBB is a tough one to play. Both characters are really tough to play against because they play Yomi in a kind of a different way. I'm just sad that I remember card back. All right, good game, guys. Congratulations to Nai getting a win for the Yomi League, and good luck to both of them for the rest of their matches.